Well, things get serious this weekend for most teams in the country, for that matter, as league play begins, and the same is true for the Lafayette Leopards. I'm here with Coach Ross James on the Lafayette women's side of things, and they open up with a really difficult task in facing the Army Cadets. Ross, every coach's approach to scouting a particular opponent differs. Talk a little bit about what Coach Nolan looks for, what she expects from you. You've drawn the short straw, and you've got a scout army. So, what's your approach to them this time around?
Well, Coach Nolan expects us to kind of go from a part to whole aspect. So what we'll do is we'll break down each player, player by player, whether it be Minato, Schretzman, Amy, Johnson, any of the players on the team. And then from there, we'll look for tendencies in what they do, and then we'll try to piece it together. What are their strengths? What are their weaknesses? What are they looking to do? Start of the first half, the first few plays of the game, and we just kind of go from there. So.
It's obviously the name that jumps out at most of us is Kelsey Minato. She has been terrific. Arguably, I think her name has to be among those when mentioned when we talk about some of the best women players ever in the Patriot League. Talk a little bit about her strengths and what the design might be to try to contain her.
Yeah, like you just said, John. She's an excellent player. She's all around game. It was actually fun getting to see a little bit of film of her. She does a lot of creative things off the bounce and also off the ball. I think we're going to look, like you said, contain her as best we can. It's really going to have to work on our ball screening defense, as well as finding her in transition, or if she is the primary ball handler, stopping her and not letting her get to her sweet spots on the floor.
Coach Dave McGarity of Army and Diane Nolan, of course, have a history combined. They're probably approaching 1,000 wins between them at the college level. So there won't be a lot of secrets, but I think what makes Army especially tough is obviously Minato, but they've got some great complementary players, not the least of whom are the two kids inside, Amy Ortner and Olivia Schretzman. They're both about 6 foot, 6'1". They play their roles very well. So again, you can't really rob Peter to pay Paul. You got to pay attention to Minato, but you can't ignore those two bigs inside.
Exactly, like you just mentioned, Schretzman and Amy, they work as a tandem. They play really well together. They read each other well in high-low situation, pick and pop, ball reversal type things, setting screens off the ball. I think both of them set screens excellent on the ball as well, so we really have to call those out, really pay attention to where they are on the floor. Matchups
are always important, Ross, and I'm wondering, again, without giving away too many secrets, some teams are more suited to zoning them, some teams you can pressure, some teams you can play straight up man-to-man. Do you see, how do you see the matchup? Will you mix it up? Is there a particular defense that you think will work best against Army?
Yeah, we're going to try to throw a variety of different defenses at them, whether at the beginning of the game, and then kind of see how the game goes, see what adjustments they make, because we expect, they haven't played a game in a while, and we expect to see some different things than what we've seen on film, so we'll make adjustments as we need to.
One thing that stood out as we close things out here is the way the team has kind of galvanized around their home court. You completed the non-league season undefeated, as did the men. I think that's the first time in history that's happened. Do you get the sense that this team is finding its identity, developing its personality? How much might that play into the fact that you're opening the Patriot League season at home this year?
Yeah, that's a big part of it. We were actually just talking about that as a staff. This time last year, I'm not sure what our record was, but I know we weren't undefeated at home, and we take a lot of pride in owning our home court and not allowing anybody come in here and beat us. So that's something we want to keep going towards the future.
A lot of great senior leadership, not the least of whom is Emily Holman outside, and of course, Maddie Peabody's playing very, very well. It's a great blend of experience, some new kids fitting into the mold. You got it going, Ross. Good luck on Wednesday afternoon, and Happy New Year.
I appreciate it, John. Thank you.
Remember, you folks can watch the game on the LSN, Lafayette Sports Network, or on GoLeopards.com. Patriot League Network will also carry the game, and you'll have a chance to listen to Gary Laubach and John Leone. What could be better? Happy New Year, folks.